Hello, welcome to this edition of the Halcyon Show. My name's Risey and I'm going to be your host for this episode. We're going to get cracking, 2 reviews up and done, however, still plenty of catching up to do. So, let's talk about a game that I've been excited to talk about for a while, wrote a bunch and just screw it, let's just talk about it. Exception. I'll take my time with that one because this is I'm just going to say it right from the off. With the exception of maybe Danger Action Speed Heroes, this is the best game I've played all year. Took me a while to get to it as well. The original time I played the game, my PC just wasn't powerful enough to play it. And after configuring and figuring around with the settings a little bit and shrinking the ratios and all the rest of it, I managed to get the game playing at the speed it's meant to be. And oh my word, what a fun game this is. Basically a platform with combat elements thrown in. So you're a robot or a virus thing in a computer simulated world. The long and the short of this game is that it's designed beautifully with amazing artwork, 3-dimensional but in the 2D style realm. The combat is fun, the platforming is fun, there's tons of detail, the production quality of this game is second to none, there's a story campaign that you can omit entirely if you don't want to do that, and more to the point, these levels have so much replayability to them, it's unreal. Because it's perfect for speedrunners, because it has a timer and you are judged based on the speed that you progress through the games, each level. You also have different unlockables that you attain throughout the course of the game in the form of bytes that you collect in the various levels. You also have a myriad of different objectives that you need to complete in a level to ace it and max it. There's just a ton of content here. There's 16 worlds. And to put it in perspective, each of those worlds has 8 levels. I only managed to get to the 10th world from when I started playing to now, and I've got to get this review up sooner rather than later. So you've got a wealth of content here. Let's talk about the combat for a second. Simple one-button mechanics initially, but then you unlock various different uploads and upgradables as you progress through the game and you collect more bytes that unlock these different attacks that you can utilize against enemies. What enemies? Well, you kind of have, this is probably where the game lets down a little bit, in that the enemies are just simple one-hit wonder sorts of things. Some of them move, some of them shoot stuff, some of them have pikes. However, where the game gets interesting is the bosses. The bosses will end each world, in effect, and there are ones at the end. Again, this links into the story mode, which I didn't pay the most attention to, I have to be honest, but the fact that the story mode not only is included, not only has these animated scenes that help sew it together, and the fact that you can omit it altogether for reviewers like me, where you just, speed and time is of the essence. I just really appreciate the fact that they put this level of effort into it. But coming back to the combat for a second, it's fun. The dynamicism of the combat imbued with the leaping and the jumping and the speed and the fact that you have a sprint button. It all adds into whether or not you want to play the game at a more slower, more methodical pace, or a faster, more burning pace like I did. I just wanted to max the levels. There was one level in particular I was within touching distance of getting the first place for. I know, 1 out of maybe 100 odd levels, but still, give me credit, I'm not the best gamer in the world, and it was just impossible. I was just thinking to myself, how did someone attain this level of godness with this game? But it didn't dissuade me from trying. That's the biggest compliment I could perhaps pay this game. It's so much fun failing. It's so much fun just reinvigorating yourself to charge the level again. Even when you've done the level, you kind of want to play it again to see if you could just shave a few more tenths of a second off the level, to take out a few more enemies, to collect that byte. There's just so much to do in this game, and yet it has a pace to it that makes it feel like it never gets repetitive, even though the levels can feel a little bit repetitive at times in terms of the way that they're designed ongoing. However, another strength of this game is that a lot of the time that doesn't actually feel to be the case, because basically, as you progress through the game, you will find that you'll collect certain, not power-ups, but nodes that then transform and flip the level on its head. So sometimes it will literally just spin over and you'll have to do the level again simply upside down, which is a testament to how well the levels are designed, by the way, that they work not only 1 dimension, but 2 dimensions as well in terms of being able to get back up again. This is in part to the fact that you have a bounce mechanic, a wall running mechanic, if you will, and a double jump later in the game. So this game has a level of dynamicism to it that is just unparalleled by a lot of the other games that I'm playing, again with the exception of maybe Danger Action Speed Heroes. The other thing with the level transmorphing is that it's not just 3-dimensional. Sometimes it's in cubes, sometimes the level morphs, sometimes all different manner of things. So the same level could go on for maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute and a half. You just never know when you set off on the level for the first time. The other thing I really liked about this game is just the level of detail. Again, I'm a sucker for the aesthetic of games. I have to be honest, I'm a little bit superficial in that sense, and this game is gorgeous. the level design, the character, the graphics as you destroy things, just the little details, like as you take damage, you don't have a health meter, but you do, the world becomes more digitized as you take more damage to the point that you die. So it's just a subtle nod to let you know, hey, maybe stop being an idiot running into situations and dying every 5 seconds. Maybe that's an idea. On the whole though, this game is suited to the kind of player that loves speedrunning. This is a speedrunning game out and out. Again, that's where I see the link between this and Danger Action Speed Heroes, in the sense that the speedrunning is omnipresent. It's always there in the top left-hand corner of your screen, just goading you, begging you to have another game. Come on, you can beat it. You can beat it faster. You can do it better. But this game has something on Danger Action Speed Heroes that I think that lacked in terms of its combat. The combat in this game is much more fun because of the saber combat rather than the shooting mechanics that you had, and the less reliance on that in Danger Action Speed Heroes, whereas in this, combat is at the fore if you want it to be. You can completely omit it if you want, but then again, you can destroy all the enemies on the level and get a bonus for it. So why not? Bonuses get knocked off your overall time, so you're not necessarily penalized speed-wise if that's what you want to do, as opposed to focusing on just speedrunning the level. It's just a fun game all round. So speedrunners would love it, platformers would love it, 2D action lovers will love it. There's just a ton here to love. I don't grade games. There's a reason for this. It's because I feel like you get tied into the grading too much. But if I'm going to tag this game, it's really hard to split these two. But I think maybe this has the edge. This might be the best game I've reviewed all year. Exception. What did you think? Have you played this game? If so, tell me what your thoughts are in the comment section below, because this game, it was a blast to play. I'm kind of a little bit sad that I don't get to play it anymore because now I've reviewed it. Hopefully I'll get a chance to play it more and more and more as the months and years progress. I look forward to coming back to this game, but if you haven't played this game, what are some of your favourite 2D platformers? I've probably asked that on at least one occasion. It's a question that keeps coming back up and up because so many of them get released, but this is a really good example of one. So I would implore you to check it out if you haven't already. If not, leave me what your thoughts are of 2D platformers in the comment section below. In the meantime though, thank you very much for watching this edition of The Halcyon Show. Please like, share and subscribe, and check out some of the other content creators in the description below. Follow me on Twitter. I hope you appreciate the fact that I've been putting in the effort to try and make these episodes as short as possible. I know we're all busy, so watch, appreciate, like, share and subscribe and all that good jazz. But in the meantime, I've been your host, Lorne Risley, and I'll see you on the next episode of The Halcyon Show.